Hello everyone, this is Rachel Evelyn, and for this assignment I chose to focus on employment law questions. For this assignment I interviewed a human resources specialist who works on Luke Air Force Base, Arizona. They're essentially a liaison for all of our federal GS civilian employees, and they also are a liaison for all of the GS employees who work in the hospital that I work in. So I wanted to tailor my interview questions to this topic. For my first question, I asked, do the guidelines under the Family and Medical Leave Act apply to GS civilian employees, or must employees only rely on accumulated sick leave for any medical instances such as maternity leave or taking time to heal after surgery? So the person I interviewed stated that GS employees can accumulate annual and sick leave, and if they do not have enough annual or sick leave, they can utilize FMLA for instances such as childbirth, adoption, or foster care. I found out that they can also accumulate leave through a program called the Voluntary Leave Transfer Program, or VLTP. Through this program, other GS employees can donate their leave to another employee for medical reasons. And for example, in the hospital that I work in, we just had an employee who had a hip fracture, and they are requesting that other employees donate some leave to them. For my second question, I wanted to ask about employment at will. The majority of private sector workers in Arizona are employees at will, and most non-union employees are not covered by a written employment contract. I asked if GS employees sign employment contracts that describe the length of employment, job duties, and the circumstances under which their employment can be terminated. And I also asked, are there specific procedures in place for the process of firing a GS employee? And what I found out is that when GS employees are hired on, they must sit down with their supervisors and go over a core personnel document. This document lays out all of the expectations for the position they're going into and the tasks that the employee must perform. The employee must then sign the document with their supervisor, and failing to accomplish certain tasks in that core personnel document can result in corrective action from the supervisor. Human resources specialist also stated that a GS civilian goes into a 1-year probationary period from the time they are hired. If an employee has conduct issues, giving them advance notice of their termination is not required. Therefore, it's somewhat similar to the employment at will standard. The only difference is the employee has to receive a written statement explaining why they are being terminated. Whereas with some employment at will, the employee does not have to receive a reason from the employer. There is also the option of putting the employee on a performance improvement plan. This plan lays out expectations for the employee and gives them the opportunity to improve before moving to further disciplinary action. This interview was very informative for me because I wasn't sure if GS civilians received the same benefits as regular employees in the civilian sector. I also heard a lot of rumors stating that it was very difficult to fire a GS employee, so that's why I wanted to go into some employment at will questions. I hope you liked this presentation, and thank you.